Hey everybody, welcome to AJS News. This is the first of two videos we got for you today.
But first, a word from our sponsors.
Hey guys, letting you know that Rocket Money is still saving me a ton of money, and it can save you a ton of money too. You look here, it shows you all of your reoccurring subscriptions. What I got Xbox Game Pass, that's okay. YouTube Premium, I like that one. And Uber One, oh, that's for like all the Uber Eats that I get. Yeah, I order a lot of food, so that's okay. Guys, check this app out. It can save you money.
Yeah, the average user saves up to $700 a year. Over $500 million in savings from canceled subscriptions.
I can attest to that. I have saved hundreds, if not over 1,000, because my insurance rate has actually been lower. They can lower and negotiate certain rates for you.
Yeah, you can also get yourself organized, check out your subscriptions to video games and movies, and set your budget to whatever you like.
It lets me know and it lets me budget. Get it now. You can go to rocketmoney.com/angryjoeshow. The greatest part, it's completely free to try. Check it out. Click that link down below. There are some additional premium features if you really like it that you can go in on, but it has saved me so much money completely free, and that's what we love doing here for you guys. So, all right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Check it out. Guys, we love saving you money. Click the link down in the description to do so. Okay, so over the weekend, I put up, AJS News. As you can see here, I was doing some filming earlier for Black Ops 6. So we are currently doing that angry review. Thank you for your patience. That should be coming out sometime this week. Maybe by Thursday, and then we're already working on a Dragon Age Veil Guard, so we're so good. It's so good. Slog our way through that one. And however, over the weekend, a little bit of an AJS controversy, guys. They let me know the comments that and the AC guys are calling me. Give me 1 second. Okay, that was the AC people. They're probably going to call again. I need to leave those notifications on because after spending $10,000, the AC only lasted 1 week and broke again. So they are on their way right now. Yes, a different part of when
and it definitely wasn't their fault.
It's been 80 degrees, 90 degrees up here this whole fucking time this past week, and I just stayed away from this area then. So stay tuned for that. But over the weekend, a little bit of an AJS controversy happened. We uploaded a PayDay 3 video, and it got downvoted to hell. Something like 55% downvoting. A lot of people were upset that basically we went back and covered a game that had a bad release. So me, Joe, Alex, we went through all the comments. We love seeing your feedback. We wanted to hear from you guys to see what people were actually saying about the video. When you get one negative comment and then multiple negative comments, then it all, kind of spirals into and changes people's minds and things like that. So we here at the Angry Joe Show, we want to address anything that we can do better for you. So I kind of looked at it as kind of two separate issues at play for why people were upset of our coverage of PayDay 3. One is as old as the channel when we started in 2008. It started the second I put up my first review. It was like the next day, hey, where's the next review? Why is the next review not up? A day after you put out the first one. Well, it takes time, for angry reviews. I've alluded to it in the past. I don't really want to share my personal life and put it out there at what happened when I was not able to cover Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Dragon's Dogma 2. People were real angry that I didn't get an angry review out there, but trust me, there's a big reason for that, and maybe in the future I can share it. But these angry reviews take 60 to 80 hours. It's a huge process. They take far more time than any of our other videos, and it takes creative energy, effort, costume, pieces, elements that all come together. So I wish I started my show where I'm just playing footage and I'm talking over it. That would have been ideal for the situation that I'm in now, but that's not what I did there. And, I worked my ass off like 60, 70. Joe knows. Like, I just wake up and I would go to sleep, and all I've done is the Angry Joe Show because I had no friends, no girlfriend, no nothing. So it's easy to do that when over the weekend I can put in 10 hours on Friday, 10 hours on Saturday, 12 hours on Sunday, and get it done but now I have a family. I have people that rely on me and stuff. And so, you can't really live like that. I can't do that anymore. So I have a life and loved ones. But I do need better processes for angry reviews. Like something will happen in my personal life and it'll take out a lot of that time. So I'm putting processes in, especially for 2025. I mean, we're already recording for Black Ops, but I don't think people understand, sometimes there's ebbs and flows. Like one year I only did 11 reviews. The next year I do 17 reviews. So just be patient. Thank you so much for sticking with us. And I think for a lot of games that we don't cover, we're going to increase the other types of formats. I was just scared that I would get yelled down that if it's not an angry review, you don't want the video at all. And I just have to be like, bro, I put in my work 13 years now. Maybe we could do sit-down discussions for games that we miss, and extended review discussions, because we have opinions. We have funny skits that we could still put into those and have good discussions on these. And then secondly, I think people are a little upset that we went back to a game that fucked up on release. They're saying, wow, you're corporate commander now. Alex has been saying, and you have been saying the whole time, that when a game comes out and they fuck it up, then that's it. They don't deserve your money anymore. Or us telling you to go back and check on a game that had a rough state at release. So let's address that. So seeing a game get better. Number one, with the PayDay specifically, they're fans of our show, and they've been watching our show for a long, long time, and they know they fucked up.
Yes.
And they said, Joe, hey, we fucked up on release. We want you to take a look at the game. We want you to spread it with your audience, and you can say whatever you want. You say you fucked up, like we fucked up on release and this and that, and we have this and this and this, and where we made it better. And we said, okay, well, hold on. I don't have a lot of those companies come to talk to me, or a lot of those companies that are a fan of the show that say, hey, we've really taken the feedback and we wanted to do better, and we've implemented this and that. So all three of us, we jumped in. We checked it out. We went through the community. We went through all the posts. We saw all the improvements they made. You even see it on Steam. It went from, mostly negative. Over time, it was even worse than that, to positive now. So they've actually made improvements. And when we played it, we had a lot of fun. And we were like, okay, should we take this particular deal? It's like, okay, yes, because this is an example of a company doing it right. And I know some people will argue, oh, well, you guys aren't playing No Man's Sky, or you guys aren't playing, Cyberpunk 2077 and some of these other ones. But it's not,
You still gave them like a fair shake, because like last news, you told them, it's like, hey, they're doing this. There's a Halloween special. Go check out.
We do news on No Man's Sky.
Yes.
At least
it's
one.
Hey,
it
go
feels like
check
once
it
a month.
out.
And we talk about it.
And I know people really want to see us play it and engage with it, because it's like it's seeing your friends play a game that has gotten better, and we want to. It's just we have a limited time for a lot of the things that we do here, and but getting back to the point here is that if a company who is a fan of the show and they fucked up in the past, and they say, Joe, we fucked up, we want you to show how we've made improvements, and we go in and we actually see the improvements, then to me that is a positive thing. That's something that I had no issue sharing with you, and I didn't see an issue with it at the time, especially if we vet the game ourselves. And we did, and we had a lot of fun with it. And if they're genuine, if they've done the work, and I know maybe, when we talk about some other games, it's like, no, they fucked up, and that's like for, Fantastic or something the day before, those types of companies. I'm not saying every company deserves a second chance, but if the companies actually put in the effort and the work, and they do the right thing, and they're genuine, and if they get it done, then I don't see a problem giving them a second chance. Look at No Man's Sky, look at Cyberpunk, look at Sea of Thieves. These are games that we gave a really hard time at release. And if they contacted us now and said, hey, Joe, we really love your show. Update 13 is coming out. Would you share it with your fans? We would go into those games, we would play those, and we'd say, yeah, we like that, and we're going to bring it to you. The thing is, we never want to shill, we never want to tell you to do something that we wouldn't do ourselves. If we make sure that it's good, we make sure that they are trying to deliver on all these promises and make right. And so that's, yes, we do have a limited amount of time in a week or in a month to cover something. So we have to kind of cover the thing that makes sense for us. And like, if you're upset that we got paid to cover one game over another and you really wanted this game, covered instead, that's totally your right. I'm not taking that away from you. I understand completely. But I just wanted to explain to the community that this is, kind of a perfect storm with the angry reviews, which we're aware of, and we want to bring more to you, but they're never going to come out. Some people think that I did angry reviews like 4 times a month or 6 times a month. That's impossible. It's never been that way. It's
just
really
the 3 of us.
only been like 1 or 2. And and it's just the 3 of us. And so we're doing the best that we can. Thank you guys so much for your understanding and your patience. And we are open to discussion. We don't want to shy away from, if you guys think we fuck up on something or do something bad, let us know. But this is what our feelings were when we took it on. This is all the behind the scenes stuff that we did when we took that on. So we wanted to bring that to you guys and make y'all aware. If you guys want to say something, because I know me and Alex and Joe, we all talked about this before.
And we talked about it before, and integrity here is paramount. I cannot, I do a lot of the business development stuff, and we turn down stuff all the time.
Yes, Alex brings it. He kind of handles a lot of that stuff for us, and we never take something that we don't personally.
And so, like, when we got this one, we sat down because I wasn't aware of what PayDay had been doing, and we sat down. We were on the phone. He was going over the Steam thing. He's like, "Wow, this thing is really turned around. Maybe we check it out." Then we sat down and we played it. And we got with our buddy Zero, who is put in like I don't know how many 100 hours in that game and been like, hey, is this something that works out? So it's like integrity is the most important thing. That was the thing that kind of drove me crazy, where they're like, oh, you guys are selling out. It's like, buddy, life would be easier if that was on the table. I promise you.
Raid Shadow Legends is our next.
If we start doing Raid Shadow Legends and sure you
then let us know.
Throw that
fucking
at
spank
me.
us on the ass.
Yes. But I mean, it's like we have products that get sent to us all the time, and like physical products, and like, hey, this is trash, and they're like, well, will money make you say it's not trash? No.
And I think a part of it is video games. Like, I don't think people care when we do promos on food and saving your money.
I would never
on
lie
things
about food.
I know you
would
would.
never lie about food.
But, I guess when it comes to video games, we're open to all feedback. But when we get a promo for a video game, we play it ourselves. We make sure it's fun. If we're having fun with it, then it's like, I have no problem. It's like, that's something I believe in. I want to share it.
Yeah. I promise you we have done what were going to be promotional things that turned out not to be promotional things based on the things coming out of that guy's mouth. And they're like, you can't do that. It's like, we told you we would not lie.
Yeah.
And so,
So, thank you guys so much for it. Joe, go ahead if you wanted to say anything on that.
No, you guys pretty much nailed it. Like, we actually went through it. They knew they messed up, and like, hey, we fixed everything. We went through, checked out the comments too. So like, a lot of it were pretty positive. It's like, this should have been like in the base game. Now it's playable. Now we're having fun.
Yeah.
This is the way it should have been. It's like, okay.
And I really appreciate some of you guys in the comments that understood that. Like Drake O'Bloody. It's like, what the fuck are you all on about? AJ is one of the most give it to you straight, honest reviewers out there. He's been blacklisted by most AAA companies for being angry and honest about their games. That's absolutely true. And I don't get review copies anymore. And frankly, I did stop asking for review copies because the companies would just straight ignore us all the time. He's always been outspoken, about how Payday 3 mishandled the launch and other games mishandled the launch. He's been vocal about the criticizing its shortcomings. And now you're telling me when the game is finally fixed or getting there, he can't cover it? It's like, haters be hating, man. It's like, so I really appreciate some of you that said, hey guys, this is just an update that they're sharing on the game and saying, hey, if you're interested in playing this, cool. If not, cool. Moving on. Right now, like I said, we're already recording our additional reviews. We just cover things that we're interested in. And I know it feels bad when we don't cover something that you wanted us to cover, because I am also a fan. I also look at other YouTube channels. What the fuck? Why didn't you cover that particular thing? Oh, because you're getting money or because you're doing this and that. It's like, so it's, I understand it can be a complicated thing, but
it's a conspiracy, bro.
Yeah.
I want to. Well, we are business here, and when I was doing the Angry Joe show, I didn't know that doing these long form reviews with parodies and in 60 hours, 80 hours in one would even
Shot
make
yourself
money.
in the foot.
Would even make money, much less support one adult person in salary, much less support 3 people's adult salaries and support crew and stuff. And it's like that just can't sustain the show that way with just doing the angry reviews and angry reviews only. And there has to be content in between. And we have a lot to say on movies, streaming. I even wanted, for the longest time, I have a bunch of stuff downstairs, stuff reviews. I've always wanted to bring back stuff reviews, egg reviews,
Egg boner,
stuff.
your horrible egg boner thing. You
Yes.
have to do a review for
It's so
Like a different flavor of
It's
wacky chips. Like I have Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity Lay's potato chips down there. There's all these things, and I'm scared. It's like, do I do this? Well, if I do this fun little video, everybody's going to what the fuck? Where the fuck is the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth video? And what the fuck? How dare you take this promotion and this and then? It's like, why did you? It's like, fuck, man. And so I haven't done it. But in 2025, we're going to restructure and, you know, I'm just going to fuck again. I put in my work. I'm going to fucking put whatever the fuck I want out, you know, that stays true to my heart, that I'm passionate about. Fucking tier lists. I love tier lists. I've been wanting to do them. And I hope you guys, you know, are still along for the ride. And reviews are still there. I have great passion for angry reviews. I do get a little worried sometimes. It's like, man, I'm not inspired from this particular game. Like, what do I do? And that's when I lean on Alex, coming up with amazing parodies. Joe, always like funny as fuck. And then we get those creative juices and melding going. And then boom, you know, we put it out.
We mix our juices.
We mix our juices. So it's an ebb and flow. And right now it might be an ebb.
flowing.
And it's going to flow here in a minute. So
I'm
thank
ready
you
to flow.
so much, guys, for your understanding. I know this was big and long, but you know, if you want an
just the way you
explanation,
like it, huh?
come and watch this part. You know, share this with other people if you want an explanation of how could you do this, Joe, on Payday. It's like, I didn't think that, you know, showing the improvement of a game, especially fans, hey, we know we fucked up, check it out, and this. And I said, hey, this, okay, you guys did improve. Hey, they are improving. Now, other things, I could be way more critical. I could have mentioned that a lot more up front. Like, these guys fucked up hardcore. And I should have shared. I feel like if I would have shared that story up front, then you guys would have been more understanding. So I'm gonna be way more transparent with that. But I was just thinking maybe people don't give a fuck about this in the background stuff, and people at Payday 3 players who have always loved the game or are more understanding with the game. It's like, yeah, I really like this. They don't want to hear about that kind of stuff, but. I think it's always being better to be upfront and transparent. So I'll put a lot more of that in the videos. And I think you guys are cool with that because, you know, I have long intros to everything. So just like this. So let's get into the news now after that extremely long intro. Alex, what the hell else has been going on in gaming news?
Have I got a movie for you guys based on one of the most important video games of all time. It's going to be made by Apple, that horrible corporation that I hate in like all aspects. But it's Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Are you ready to ford the river and die of dysentery and not be able to hit the squirrels because
Hey.
the CPU is too fast?
How are they?
Don't shit on Oregon Trail.
I love
okay,
Oregon Trail.
This was our childhood.
But into a movie?
I know for younger people out there, they're probably like, "What the fuck is Oregon Trail?" When you're at school, you're fucking bored. You're not allowed to, you know, hang out.
You didn't have cell phones.
You didn't have cell phones.
No internet available.
You're not allowed to bring out your Tiger Electronic X-Men we would have. That's the kind of shit we would play. Yeah, that stuff would get confiscated. But when you're in computer science, you're like, oh, an excuse to play, you know, on the computer, and we would all load up Oregon Trail and play that.
You got to be a banker because they can afford more.
And it was glorious because technically you were doing schoolwork, but not really. So
he was bougie and he got a Tiger handheld. I had the thing with water in it that you push it and makes a bubble
yeah.
and it puts the ring on the thing or like the basketball through the thing.
Oh,
that
I
was my
remember
Tiger. So yeah, it's coming out. It's being directed by someone who you don't know, and it's being written by someone you don't.
Any
know.
actor?
there's
Never know.
already, I think, an Oregon Trail horror or something looking thing that I think Joe might like, some kind of like
Like a
B movie on
Did you watch
Amazon.
Carved?
No,
The B
not
movie I
yet.
told you to watch. It's about a
No.
pumpkin that's tired of people cutting up his people in Halloween, and he goes on a murderous rampage.
Sounds like piñata.
Yeah,
Killer piñata.
They're all of those things are exactly the same. Karis Hell is exact. Like they're all the same. Yeah. So that's this news stories movie. There's more coming later. We got some news this week on Meta's AR/VR Reality Labs division.
They're the positives now.
Their losses are guesses.
Positive.
Guesses.
$2 billion.
Guess.
4 billion.
You have to. Price is right, man. You've seen the show. He goes 2, you go 2.1. I mean, at $4.4 billion.
4.4?
$4 billion.
But Joe was closer
I
than
know,
me.
but he need.
I
If you
still
say
would've-
2, he's supposed to say
2.1.
2.1 because it's the closest without going
So
over.
there's a bigger shock. Wait, what?
I need my.
But Joe just deflated it by saying, "Oh yeah, it was $4 billion."
yeah.
It's
All right.
like
But that's a
double it.
lot of fucking money.
Yeah. So their expenses were up 19% year on year to 4.7 billion because they're not making any money. They make no money, and they also noted that the Reality Labs operating losses to increase meaningfully year over year, not profits. Their losses are going to increase meaningfully because they want you to buy a house that doesn't exist. They want you to wear goofy glasses that I guess are going to help you do stuff at work. Like
You
you'll be
watch
able,
like a big screen TV, but only you.
yeah.
Your friends come over, like, what you watching?
Yeah, and then Apple will do little pop-ups to remind you that your power cord has, gone obsolete because they timed it, and then.
Well, it's a great write-off for them, but I don't know what else are they doing with it. They're gonna do shit.
I have no idea. They said they have a lot of. I'd say Reality Labs is clearly one of our strategic long-term priorities, and we expect it to be an area of significant investment. So they're going to continue to just light billions of dollars on fire every 10
Yeah,
months.
I mean, I watched this really intelligent video. I wish I would have remembered its title, but to sum it up, it was a lot of cell phone companies have a lot of power and influence, and Facebook was like, we need a space where we can have power and influence without having to rely on other people's and pay other people's. And they saw an opportunity with fucking VR. And that's why they went so hard into VR. But to me, I don't think that VR was, to sustain numbers at that level and this breakout into mass audiences where fucking employees, instead of walking into the conference room and meeting each other in person or over video teleconference calling, that everybody would stick on a fucking Facebook Meta helmet.
You don't got legs.
No, I just don't think that was ever really in the cards. And so they've lost billions of dollars. There's no end in sight. I don't know what the fuck they're doing or where they're going with it.
Do you quit? Like, let's say that all of
You
the
unplug.
investors go,
Oh.
bro, like $15 billion you've lit on
We're
fire.
gonna lose more next year.
And you want more, and then they're like, well, if we stop now, we lose 50, but if we keep going, we could potentially. It's like, look, this is what sunk cost fallacy
So
is.
it's interesting.
And it's going to take a brand new person in charge to be like, stop the bleeding. I know it's going to hurt, but we got to get out of this because it's a sinking ship.
Yeah, or release something worthwhile.
Yeah, I don't know what the hope is, but I don't know. We'll see.
I guess from a fantasy part, you hope that they've advanced technology so goddamn much because they're pouring so much money into it that the headset gets so cheap, so awesome, so wireless, so additional power with just the head. Just putting this on, having plug into nothing else, like the MetaQuest. Maybe by MetaQuest 7 is where it would truly be this revolution, or you'd put on the sunglasses
But they have a
and
sprinkle of
very,
good
very
games,
lightweight
though.
with computer chips in it. And then at that point, they could get out of it what they're thinking that they can get out of it now. But that's a long way away. That's a fantasy. But I don't know. I'm kind of glad somebody's doing it because I like technology and I like advancements in that field. But I'm glad that it's not my money going towards it or a company that I've invested in because I don't think it's smart.
They read a bunch of, Snow Crash and Ready Player One. They're like, I want to do that. I want to be the evil corporation that owns the Alterverse, and it's going to be great. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
But all right. In more video gaming news, Monster Hunter Wilds had a beta this weekend. Drew almost 500,000 concurrent Steam players in the first
We
hour.
desperately wanted to play this too, but again, that's when the AC broke, and I was dealing with the AC guy most of the day, and the
played Veilguard for
beta
6
was
hours,
over.
too.
But I saw all the PC performance issues. Have you seen the hilarious pictures of the untextured guys on PC, I probably would have ran in. I was like, fuck, man, I would have been able to experience and laugh at that.
Yeah, that's the only thing that the next article I've got is the PC performance was pretty poor. Capcom has said that the game is already in a more improved state. They continue development when they're like, look, this is going to be what the beta is, and then they continue working, and so the current version is beyond that. But there's some pretty hilarious videos that hopefully are playing up there. I really like the cooking scenes. There's a great cooking scene, and you guys are watching it now, and everyone talks about how amazing the cooking in Monster Hunter is. That's what I like right there. So.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game, and hopefully they get the PC version.
It's my first one. I'm gonna try.
Hopefully it's not doom and gloom on the PC port, because it was fine on console, I heard, as far as the beta goes. It kind of ended before it got too exciting, is what I'm hearing, and I was really hoping that wouldn't be the case. But we are looking forward to it. I guess it's over now. See, this is the part about not having enough time for every single game that comes out, because I desperately wanted to play it.
Yeah, it was
it's over now.
It was only 2.5 days, weekend only.
And now I don't get to play all the way until February, because this thing comes out towards the end of February. But maybe they'll have another beta.
And fuck you, give me money February.
And, yeah,
or I don't remember what we called it, because February
broke. Yeah, something broke. February broke. Fuck, we had a good one. Now we forgot it.
We got some news this week.
So many games in February.
Yeah, lots. Arkane's founder had left the company because Bethesda did not want to do the kind of games that we wanted to make. So according to the founder, Rafael Colantonio, after the launch of Prey in 2017, Bethesda came and said, hey, we want live service games. He's like, well, we don't do that here. No. I think, are you in the wrong building? And they're like, you're going to do that because we own you. And so he said no, and he left. And so... Good for him. And I know that's rare in the games industry. A lot of companies will be like, oh, fuck, I've got so many employees, I got people relying on me. I don't really want to compromise, our creative vision and our energies, and so it is rare. But sometimes it's not a good corporate fit. We've seen it how many times when BioWare makes a Anthem game, and you're like, what are you doing? You guys make single player, like, amazing RPGs. Why are you going out into this other space? And so, like,
trying to do the live service thing, like Rocksteady.
Yeah, it's like we see it all the time. It's like these companies aren't built for it. I mean, even the companies that are built for it don't do a good job the vast majority of the time.
Well, at least they came out with that banger.
Redfall. Yeah. I mean, that's what it was. They came in, they're like, hey, can you make this Redfall game? He's like, this team isn't made for it. And they're like, well, do it anyways. And he pieced out. So,
sort of that game.
Yeah. Now we got some lots of Ubisoft news. So 24-25 half-year results plummet as Star Wars Outlaws underperforms, according to them. Sales have
slumping.
I
wasn't really all that excited about playing it. I'm glad that Alex was able to cover
you
it.
You hated it.
I got the
Stealth.
Ubisoft Play subscription so that I can cover it at some point during the end of the year. Usually we have a little more time in December to wrap up all the best games of the year, all the worst games of the year, and all the most disappointing games of the year. We'll play some of those on stream, so stay tuned as we get closer there, where we do a big marathon of a lot of the games that we missed. In case you're upset on some of the ones we missed, hang out with us at the end of the year, because we try to get to those.
Yeah, they've also said that global headcount has tumbled more than 2,000 employees in that period of time. So things are not looking up, but there is one bright spot. They know what's going to save them. And
new game.
This is perfect. I mean, I think this is how you do it. So Ubisoft has launched their NFT project. It's a brand new game that came out, and it works. It's called Champions Tactics. It looks like a game, and the reason I think it's going to save it, there's a champion in there that you can buy for $63,000. Are you interested in that?
$63,000
US dollars.
What? Is this is an NFT
game?
Okay, that's why nobody should ever fucking buy that. Fucking
How
Ubisoft.
much is that most expensive ape going for now?
So now we know why Ubisoft was pushing so fucking hard for that, so that they can, microtransactions. People are like $20 $5 for a skin, that's absolutely unreasonable. But if it's tied to the blockchain and this is going to be worth something in the future, they can charge, what was it?
$63,000.
$63,000. No wonder people like that were all over that. Dr. Disrespect for the fucking Midnight Society trying to make it like an NFT. It's like, imagine how much thousands of dollars you can make when you kill somebody and take their NFTs.
Yeah. But, Joe, you can own your own digital corner of the information highway.
But the first tweet is going for how much?
So you're talking about one of the original apes. No, it was one of the first tweets of all time.
Yes.
Was like 20. They wanted to sell it for $28 million, and it was a couple $100.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Ubisoft is great at striking when the iron is hot. Like, I mean, that's kind of what I was reminded of the old.
I'm just worried,
Slowpoke
and I
memes.
don't want them. I laugh at them and I say, "Ha, you're gonna feel horribly," and then I'm gonna spread the word. Nobody fucking play Champion. What is it called?
I'm not going to tell you, so you can't tell people.
Okay, don't fucking play this game.
Well, I am
super worried.
Don't I have to find something? So I'm gonna play
Yes,
the
you do.
game.
Is it
I'll
Champion
send you
Tactics?
the name.
Is it Champion Tactics?
Maybe.
But it's.
I'll put the wrong
But
game.
I'm scared that one of these. Oh, what the fuck?
4,000.
What is this,
That one's
Joe?
cheap.
Look at this. Savage Trooper, $295 million. Is that what that is? Bro,
That's
this is a fucking
steal.
joke. I'm gonna send this
Well,
picture
that I'm
to
gonna put
you,
over here.
and you
I'll
can
just
put
put
it
it up
on
top.
there. Just put it up top.
It's such a steal. I mean, look, if the high end won $63,000 and you're only
It's
paying
obvious
a
nobody
couple
would
$100,
ever fucking do this, but the fact that it's there, maybe somebody would do the $100 one. Wow, what a deal! I didn't have to spend $3 million or whatever it
Well,
is. That has to be
That
wrong.
one's only $132.
This one's
It's
only
pretty cheap.
$295 million, Joe. Why not?
That's not bad. It's not. I mean, it's no.
Oh my God.
I don't want to even pretend that I know what consumers think nowadays because,
can't.
10 years ago, it's like you want to spend how much money on a fake spaceship
The
that makes fake space bases, and you're going to pay a company 10 years in advance $500, and then they're going to make a better ship for cheaper later on.
I do have an update on Star Citizen, but considering how mad the Star Citizen faithful got,
Now,
I
this
could
time-
save it for video too
They
because I
weren't
did more research.
The last time
They were actually
weren't.
really happy with us. Actually,
excellent.
one of the people of the
That was
guys
mad?
that I watched the video to do the research, he actually watched our video and wasn't super negative. He was just like, "Hey, some of this stuff was." So it was good.
Yeah, you just like, you get the wording on it. It's like you need to do, because YouTube is fucking great. I mean, there are people who will dedicate their whole lives to making a 15-minute long video, and it is so packed with information. A lot of people fail to realize that video probably took 3 weeks to develop of
and
research and
everything.
an exhaustive understanding. And we have like 15 minutes or 3 hours, to devote to a complex issue like that.
Also, we have to phrase ways to get like fart jokes and toilet humor and like just inappropriate
Stuff about
things.
food.
Like, yeah, I mean, we have to, we know what you want.
But long story short, I've watched additional videos on Star Citizen, which there are 25 features removed from Star Citizen 4.0. The recent update coming out, they just say, hey, everybody, we're removing a bunch of stuff so that we can get this update out.
That's not a bad thing.
And then another thing, is 1.0 Star Citizen, from my understanding, is completely changing its scope and promise and everything, and it's made people upset. Like, some people want like a NPCs and a directed kind of world that evolves without the player, and the player just kind of is a part of it, and there's factions there. Star Citizen seems to be going in a completely different direction now. The 1.0, which is the players now do everything. The players build everything for us. They do the story for us. They do the economy for us. And while that gives players more agency, I don't see how it's going to work on just 5 planets, because remember when they said 100 planets, not 100 planets anymore. It's not unlimited
16
planets
times the
like
planets.
No Man's Sky, which was a bad idea anyway. But 5 planets, I don't see how it's going to work on 5 planets with play. It's going to be pure chaos. It's going to be interesting to see what systems they're going to have in there to prevent abuse, because I see a lot of abuse.
Yeah, I mean, I want an infinitely large, perfect space video game where I get to build build my own base and have a corporation and do everything
The
at
end
all
game,
times.
yeah.
But I also have to realize that like someone has to design that, and if they continue to stretch out the development time, that game will never be.
Yeah, right.
So it's like I'd rather them put out something than tease me forever with not a lot.
But super scatterbrained. Getting back to Champion Tactics, because you could put this trailer up there, is, you know, I am very concerned that eventually one of these developers are going to marry a good game with the blockchain and NFTs stuff, because Ubisoft is a bull in a china shop refusing to let go of development of any of these NFTs. And then, you know, younger, more impressionable people will play it, and they'll be like, wow, man, I played this game when I was younger. It was fucking great, and this and that. I'm just worried that because mostly these games are shit.
I don't think it's going to be Ubisoft, but I could see Valve getting away with it.
Because that's kind of how the gacha stuff got popular with Genshin Impact and stuff. It's like, wow, Joel, this is an actual good game. You know, it's Mary, but it has all the gacha tactics in it, and it's like that, and then it proliferates and it makes $1 billion. So I'm just worried that you know, Ubisoft is like, no, fuck it. We're going to burn through money until we get our Genshin Impact.
Yeah. They're going to burn through a lot of money. Again, they're doing very poorly, but there's still talks.
Hopefully they burn out before they get a hit on the NFT side. Or when they finally get a hit on the NFT side, we have to just...
Well, the only thing that could save them right now is Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe that'll be an NFT game, too.
Don't you fucking dare.
Yeah. Look, I don't have faith that they're going to do anything right. I do think that if anything's going to come forward, it would be Valve, but I don't think Gabe likes that crap. So, the other big thing that happened this week is Dragon Age. The Veilguard came out. We played a lot of it, so check out our stream on Twitch if you want to take a look at it. There's a couple issues. One, a little more minor one, doesn't warn you which big quests are going to lock you out of finishing side quests. So there's a lot of sometimes. You know, back in my day, you'd play a video game, and it'd be like, hey, before you embark on this quest, make sure that you take care of everything that you need to. Wink, wink, hint, hint, go do all the other things. They don't quite do that. And then there is a pretty big difference between the critical reviews and the fan review or the player reviews on this game. I mean, pretty wildly different stuff. As low as 3 on Metacritic. I mean, we're looking in the high 80s for critics.
Yeah.
We are closer to, I think, the user reviews, or I'm personally closer to the user reviews, but we've got a lot more stuff to play. But people were trying to say that it's massively successful because it had a bunch of people playing it. The Steam charts for Veilguard were actually kind of disappointing for a launch that size. It got up into 55,000, 70,000 people at peak, but Baldur's Gate 3, kind of the more recent, big crunchy RPG, crushed them 10 times the number of people in that opening weekend, and it really never surged up the way that people thought. So I don't know how EA is going to think about it, financially speaking, but they still, put in almost 90,000 concurrent users.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know if you can consider it a commercial failure. It's obviously not like a Suicide Squad or a Concord, but the fact that there's going to be no DLC and they're already moving on to Mass Effect does tell me that the project to them is kind of like a redheaded stepchild. And it probably because they spent so much more money than they're willing to admit, because of going through several iterations of the idea. At first it was a direct continuation of Inquisition Closer, and then it was a live service, and then now it is whatever the fuck it is right now. Veilguard.
I mean, so we've talked a lot in the news in the last couple of years about the development of this. It's something that I'm really interested in because I actually really do enjoy the Dragon Age series, like some really great RPGs. 2015, before Anthem was released, EA went to them and said, you need to make Inquisition part, the continuation. And so it got 2 years with that as like the planning phase. In 2017, though, EA said I need it to be live service, and they changed it from Joplin to Morrison. And so from 2017 into 2021, it was a live service game, where in a live service game, you can't be the hero leading the Inquisition, which why we are a crappy random soldier guy, and you probably don't control a lot of companions, because the live service game, we're supposed to be our own companion, like playing with each other.
Yeah.
And so when people are like, hey, this feels kind of like a live service game that got turned into a single player game last minute, it's like, hey,
you mentioned that.
that's exactly what ended up happening.
So I don't know. There are some successes that aren't very good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a lot of the Transformer films made a lot of money. Some of the Transformer films were good. Some of them were like garbage good, like, you know, popcorn pop, and some of them were bad, but still made a lot of money on the name alone. And it could be that this current Dragon Age Veilguard was always going to make a certain amount of money because it's called Dragon Age. But that's what people have a problem with. It's like, this isn't fucking Dragon Age. This is round edges Dragon Age. This is soft. This is really bad and a talentless writer's Dragon Age with generic combat and generic enemy designs and going in a direction continuing in a direction that nobody really cared about or wanted.
Your ultimate move is so good.
It is.
You throw a temper tantrum and you punch the ground
You'll
like a
see
3-year-old.
this in our review. Okay, but yes. All right. So then, but ultimately, the fact that there's going to be no DLC is all of the support that the game is going to get. That should tell you it. Okay, we're moving on. We're going to Mass Effect. Now, you know the meme of the fucking Grim Reaper going into the individual doors and a blood trail out of each one. I am a little worried. You know, saying, now we're not finished reviewing Dragon Age. We don't know what the score is going to be as of right now, but I am not encouraged. I am not encouraged if they're taking this exact team, these exact writers, all of it, and bringing it into the Mass Effect universe. If you are, count me out. Or I'm very worried because I don't want them to do the same thing they did to Dragon Age as they do Mass Effect, because now you're real going to piss me off because I love Dragon Age. I love the Dragon Age games, but the lore for Dragon Age and the different factions and the way the gods work in there, and it was never like fully coherent and like fascinating for me. I'm much rather engage with, you know, Lord of the Rings or some like that kind of universe.
Used to.
Yeah, well, Rings of Power ruined that, or Game of Thrones used to. So I don't want the same thing to happen to Dragon Age or to Mass Effect. But we'll see. Hopefully they hire completely separate writers and know exactly why Mass Effect was popular in the first place. Mm-hmm. And they don't have tired faces. Stay away from tired faces.
I want one guy to have a really tired face on purpose. So
right.
We have to be able to bring OJ back. I mean, we bought a lot of those eyes.
Googly eyes.
We have a lot of them.
We need to use them. So please.
Sorry.
Like Microsoft made jokes about Craig, was it? The
Craig.
Fucking brute?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe there'll be one Easter egg in the new Mass Effect. Somebody in the corner next to Andromeda is tired.
My face is tired. All right, that's what I got.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys. So a lot there. Thank you for your patience and understanding. We always want to have an open and honest dialogue with you, a transparent dialogue. So give us some feedback. Tell us your thoughts down in the comments below with regards to that situation. And please stay tuned because Black Ops 6 Angry Review this week, and we're already working on Dragon Age. So I'd guess that the Dragon Age review is coming after that. And a few more exciting games before the end of the year. Stalker and Indiana Jones. We're looking forward to a lot of actually interesting VR games that I'm kind of excited about. Metro, Aliens.
Batman.
So we'll probably cover some of that.
I'll play the Batman.
No Superman? Then I'm playing.
He doesn't get video
fuck
games.
Batman. I'm playing
I mean, how are you going to do VR?
Superman VR. I've always said that GoPro video. It's called Superman GoPro.
Yeah.
Look it up on YouTube.
You start kissing women, make
just-
them forget. and
No,
like,
that's not.
Stop. That's not Superman's power. Oh, and throwing
is.
shields.
it is
from
his
the
power. I
front.
saw it. I saw the
No.
movie. And Bill Cosby was on the wall.
Oh, and building bricks by his eyes.
What? That's so fucking
He can
weird.
remold his face.
That it's so weird that
from
that
Quest of
happened
Peace.
though.
Yeah.
What?
The Bill Cosby and the kissing scene, like in the same room.
Yeah.
What are you talking
Wait,
about?
in the
In the
Superman
scene.
movie where he talks about kissing people to make them forget, there's
Yeah.
just all of a sudden there's just a picture of Bill Cosby on the wall.
For no reason?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird.
It's predictive. That's it.
Superman can also predict the
can
future.
predict the future.
Yeah.
All right. Weird as hell tangent. Thank you so much,
Should I put
and
it?
we will see you on Don't put.
Should I
You
put
can put it up. It's up to you. And we'll see you on the next Angry Joe show. Bye, guys.